welcome Rod Smith to the Quiet Time Podcast and also my YouTube channel, Broncos Legend, Broncos Ring of Fame, the best Broncos receiver. I want to say thank you for joining me. What's going on?
Oh man, I'm good, man. I'm glad you live close. We've done everything to protect ourselves. You know, we've sanitized the whole area. But no, I appreciate you calling me up, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Benny Fowler, the man when he came in back in the day, and I just saw you work, and I've been a fan ever since. And now I'm still gonna be a fan. I'm gonna be in your corner forever, just so you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And, that's kind of where we can start off and, letting the people know that, I reached out to you because I knew you were undrafted and all the things that you accomplished here as a Denver Broncos wide receiver. Can you just touch a little bit on that, like your mentality? Because this podcast is about mindset and the importance of mindset and going about achieving your goals and dreams. Like, what was your mindset coming into the NFL?
As you know, with being undrafted, your mindset is I got to find a way to make it. I got to figure out how to way, and this is my thinking. The words I used was I got to find a way to keep these cleats on my feet. Yeah. See, the minute you ain't got them cleats on your feet, you're in trouble. You got the wingtips on or some sneakers, it's not good. And so when you reached out to me, I said, this young man want to do something different because he knows what he knows got him here, but what I know will keep him here. And so I really appreciated you looking out. You reached out to me, and there's several other guys over the years that reached out. And that to me was always special that they thought enough of my work ethic and what I put on the field, as far as the work, the numbers that I put up, they respected that. So for me, man, being on the practice squad, I was on the practice squad the entire year. So I was one whole year literally studying anything move, I was studying it. And then I would go practice it. By myself, sometimes with people, without people. I mean, it was just like I had to find a way to make it, man. I grew up with nothing. So my biggest motivator was lack. Yeah. That was my biggest motivator.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And when you would coach me up, and even after practices, the practices that you would come to, it was really about separating. You were telling me you got to separate yourself in practice, in blocking, yep. Special teams. Because you would talk to Kubiak and you would talk to Elway and those guys, and then you would bring some of that information back. Like, if you really want to separate yourself, you got to go hard every single play.
Every snap.
And that's how you played. So, you said that came from lack. But also, I remember you saying that, would you change your number or would you put your name on your helmet or something like that? What did you used to do to, I think you changed your number in practice.
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah, we, after I had got established, because, you're always in this fear. The NFL, when they say not for long, and most people don't understand, they see it as this one overall global big business. But what they don't see is all the small moving parts behind it. And we're part of the small moving parts. As a player, you don't really have a whole lot of leverage in this business. And people think you do, but they don't know. And so for me, Shannon Sharp's locker was right in front of mine. So the blessing for me was I was right in front of Sharp's locker. And Sharp was the 11th round draft pick. They don't even have that many anymore. Right. And so I would watch Shannon just mimic whatever Shannon did. So whatever Shannon did, I would mimic him. And honestly, Keith Burns and myself, we got close enough to Shannon where he would kind of coach us up and mentor us mentally because his work ethic was unheard of. And so I said, well, if I'm going to make it, I got to do what Shannon do. If Shannon clean his locker, I clean my locker. So you got to get your ego and stuff out the way when it comes to that. And so after I got established a little bit, we had won Super Bowl. I was starting. My first year starting, we won Super Bowl. So, of course, my second year starting, we won Super Bowl. So we won 2 in a row. And what I would do is I started changing my number in practice. I wore number 9. After the first year we won Super Bowl, I wore number 9 in practice. It was crazy because the defensive coach had no idea it was me. They like, who's number 9? He's killing us. It was me the whole time. Right. Because my mentality was when I was in college, I wore number 9. And that's the hunger that I had to bring to the field every day. Was every single snap I get, I got to put this work in or they're going to get rid of me. That was my mentality. I used to tell myself that every day, if I don't work today, they're going to fire me and I can't come back tomorrow. So that was the mentality I had.
Yeah, you gave me that. You gave me that mentality when I got to the league, especially because you really put it into me that they bring people in every Tuesday.
Dude.
Every Tuesday to work out, and I had no clue. And you told me after my practice squad year, Hey, bro, they bring in people every Tuesday to come take your job. You better get on it.
Yeah. Dude, let me tell you, this is what happened to me. This is what woke me up. I'm thinking I'm established. I'm playing pretty good. And I was hurt. I'm not injured. Injured means you can't play. Hurt means you can play and you come get treatment. So I'm in treatment on Monday. I go to treatment on Tuesday. You don't get days off when you're hurt. So you got to come get the treatment. So I'm getting the treatment. I just got through the shower. And I look over my man True Love. True Love was one of the guys who worked upstairs. True Love come walking in. He got 6 guys with him. I said, "Oh man, y'all working out some DBs, huh?" He like, "Nah, 3 of them receivers." I'm like, "What for? We don't need no receivers." He said, "Rod, let me tell you something." He said, "Every week they look to replace you." He messing with me at the same time. He said, "Every week I'm looking for somebody to get rid of you." And I took that shit to heart.
Right.
I did. I was like, I didn't go back to no more treatments. I wasn't hurt no more. I said, so every Tuesday they looking to replace people. Another quick story, man. After I knew that, this was like about 4 years later. I'm established. I'm leading a team and everything. But I'm humble. I'm grounded. I know they'll fire you in a minute. We was in 2 days. We had practice one day. Got a new receiver, number 14. This is how bad it was. I never got the brother's name. He's number 14. That's all I knew. We do the walkthrough. We do the practice. We go have lunch. Second practice, number 14, we doing warm-ups. This white guy. I'm like, hold up. I said, hold up, wait a minute. I went with Kubiak. Me and Kub was real close still to this day. I said, Kub, number 14 was black at the first practice. Y'all fired the brother at lunch. I said, what the hell did he do at lunch? Kub said, Rod, you know how this business is. Dude, literally, those were my best practices. When somebody got fired and it wasn't me, my best practices was that day. It's just the focus switches when you can see how fast they can literally snatch somebody's livelihood like that.
Yeah, that's an incredible story. But that gives people an insight of what it was like when you were playing. And I've seen similar things, and actually similar things have happened to me. Playing some of my best ball, most consistent ball this year, and then getting released, and then getting picked back up a week later. It's just a part of the business, and you learn and you understand that. And I never felt that until it happened to me. People always tell you, hey, this is a business, and you see people get cut in and out of locker rooms, but until it happens to you, you never know. But it never happened to you, though.
Oh, I got cut one time.
Oh, practice squad after training.
I got cut one time. The other time I quit. I'm telling you. You know what? It was the last week of cuts. Everybody know the last week of cuts. You know it's happening. You seeing guys slowly move. It went from 60, 70, 80 guys, and that thing is dwindling down. And it's the last week of cuts. I said, man, I just got to make it through this week. But I ain't playing in the preseason, so I don't really know if they're going to keep me because they ain't even let me play. So I'm upset, but I'm not upset because I still got on cleats. Remember, the mentality is keep the cleats on.
Right.
And practice was over. It was a Wednesday. This is the last preseason game. You don't really have that Tuesday off. It was like a Tuesday. And I'm riding a bike with my boy Butler Benote. He went to Ohio State, so he up in your area. So my boy Butler, we riding the bike. Dude tapped me on the shoulder. I turn around, I'm like, dang. Because I knew who he was. That guy is the one you don't want to see.
Right.
He tapped me on the shoulder. Yeah, Bob Ferguson needs to see you upstairs with your playbook. And I'm dog cussing the whole time. I'm effing this and I'm cussing, dude, because they didn't give me a chance. And so I go up there. I said, yeah, Mr. Ferguson, yeah, they told me to come up. He said, yeah, Rod, we're going to go a different direction. And I'm like, my heart literally, dude, went into my feet. My heart sunk, man. I didn't know what I was going to do. I brought everything I owned with me when I came to Denver. I was all in. Like in poker, I was all in, bro. I brought everything. Any piece of clothing I owned, the little piece of car I had, everything I owned, I brought it with me. And when he told me that, I didn't know what I was going to do. And literally all that stuff flashed in my mind within a second. Because he said, but. I said, huh? No, seriously, Doc, he said, yeah, we're gonna go a different direction. And literally my whole life in a second flashed through my eyes. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. I want to cry. He said, but we want to keep you for the practice squad. I said, huh? I said, I don't understand. What does that mean? He said, listen, just go to the hotel for 24 hours. You clear waivers, you come back. Well, we're only gonna pay you $3,300 a week. Dude, I'm the richest dude in my neighborhood. Right. With $3,300 a week. I'm like, dude, I said, so, and this is my mentality. But like you said, this is about mindset. I said, can I go finish my workout?
Mm.
He said, yeah, go finish your workout, then go to the hotel, we'll call you, and then you come back, sign, and you make $3,300 a week, be on the practice squad. I said, thank you. I literally said, thank you, ran my ass back downstairs, and my butler was still on the bike, and I told him what happened. I said, man, listen, I got cleats on my feet. I said, I got a chance. And that's all I wanted, man. That's all I ever wanted. And you know, it's indicative of life, man. Life gonna throw you some curveballs, and you ain't even playing baseball. But you're gonna get a curveball, right? It's gonna change things up sometime, and you gotta literally go internal and adjust.
Yeah. Then, you know, I kind of had a similar story when I got put on practice squad my first year, just like you. And I got cut, got that phone call, and San Fran came calling for me to be on their practice squad. I'm like, no, I'm going to stay here because if I can stick with Peyton, I'm going to be all right. So, you know, shifting into that, you played with a legendary quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. What was it like playing with John Elway?
You know, right now as we recording this, man, everybody's watching The Last Dance, you know, with Jordan, and they see how Jordan was literally that you see why he was considered the greatest to put on sneakers as a basketball player, because you got to have a certain mentality. And John Elway had that mentality, but John wasn't loud like as far as Michael Jordan. And but John's work ethic, dude, was unheard of. And me being a young guy, I was blessed because I got to watch him. You know, one of the things that was my thing, one of my calling cards in Broncos folklore that some people don't know is I never missed an off-season workout. In 14 years, I went to 600 straight voluntary workouts. I didn't give a damn what was going on. This was my job, and I didn't take those long weekends. Everybody, the boys want to go over here for a week, and I would miss workout. I had people offer me $10,000 to go do the commercial thing, but I would have missed a workout for $100. No, I'll take the 100. They're like, dude, you're crazy. It's $10,000. I said, when I was broke, $10,000 was a lot of money. This $100 can make me $1 million. And that $100 made me multiple millions of dollars because I had that mentality. And so I watched John in the offseason, dude, and I watched people offer him hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he would still come do the workout, and then people would have to come to the facility and do his video or whatever they had to do. And so I adopted that from watching John. I watched Shannon Sharp. I had Ray Crockett in my corner. I had Steve Atwater. You know, now all those dudes in the Hall of Fame, except for Ray, you know, but I had Gary Zimmerman. You know, those 4 dudes I play with in the Hall of Fame right now on TV. So I had that around me, and I didn't get in my feelings or get in the ego mood that I learned. I told you, man, I was quiet and I was absorbing. Okay, this is how you be a pro. This is how you do it. This is how you go about doing it. You know, Champ Bailey played with Champ, so 5 now.
Yeah.
All the guys in Bronco Hall of Fame I played with except for one, which is Floyd Little.
That's incredible. So what was you said? You know, John Elway had a great mentality. He was a great leader. Talk more about his leadership in the huddle, because we see him, you know, being a leader as a GM and, you know, getting a chance to play for him. That was, you know, one of the best things for me is coming to an organization like this, but also playing for a guy like that. If Elway picks you on his team, like that's a legendary player picking you to be on his roster. So that was cool for me. But, you know, when he would come address the team, you know, he would have all eyes and all ears because of what he did as a player and then as a GM. So talk more about that.
You know, John, man, the crazy part is, you know, being a Stanford guy, he's smart. You know, you got to be pretty smart to go to Stanford, right? Some of us didn't go to school for academics, right? But John, this is the thing about John that was great, and I thought he would do well as a GM, of course. You know, lately we haven't been as good as we want to be, but like you, and I can promise you, he could see part of you that he saw in me. Most people didn't know our first Super Bowl team, we only had 2 first-round draft picks on that team. The rest of us was journeymen, people who was free agents or guys who had got cut. So John learned how to work with talent and skill and mindset, guys who had that same thing that he had, which was that hunger to win. That's all we wanted. We just wanted to win, but then we got to get an opportunity. And so that was him. And so as a GM, he could see that in a guy. He could see you was on the practice squad, but if you working your tail off, hey, we need to get this guy some reps. That's what happened to Rod Smith. Yeah. See, I was on the practice squad, and there would be 10 reps. I took all 10. Dude tried to take me out. I'm like, hell no. You get to play on Sundays, dude. I don't get to play on Sunday. It was game day. Here's another little mindset thing I used to do. I used to keep my stats in practice. I used to make him up a little bit, right? Because you gotta have that thing that. Because see, y'all get to play on Sundays. Well, shit, I get to play Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is my game day, and I would literally keep my stats. And one day, dude, I'm slaughtering them. I'm going against number one defense.
Yeah.
I'm killing them. And Shaw, he said, "Rod, what's up, man?" I said, "Dude, I am killing these boys today." I'm whispering to him, right? Rod said he killing y'all. Dude, I got tackled. I started getting hit. They started going after me, like literally in practice. And you know what? I said, bring it. We down in red zone. Ran the play, caught a touchdown. Run it again. Go back to the line, run again. Caught a touchdown again. Run again. Caught a touchdown again. God damn it, y'all know what he's doing? 4 times. See, now they mad at me.
Right.
I don't know no different. This is game day for me.
Right.
You know what I'm running. He put the ball closed. The guy still trying to knock it down. I'm palming that joint now, and I'm holding on the whole time. The 4th time, he knocked it away. The 4th time. I said, I believe I could have caught it. I think we'd been there still right now. The way I'm built,
right.
that was eating for me. That's the only time I got to eat.
Right.
Was during those moments, man. And so I saw the like I say, with John and all those guys, and I literally it's like being a kid in the backyard and don't get picked. Mm-hmm. What do I got to do to get picked? And so like with you got picked. And so that's why when you came to me, said, man, let me get some of these nuggets, man. What do you know that I don't know? So you didn't come with an ego. You came with, listen, what can I learn to do and do it better than I'm doing right now to get me on that football field? And that was the part about me that was exciting to watch you. Even when your ass was in New York, when you was in Chicago, Rod's still rooting. Rod's still on the phone with you.
Yep.
Still, because that's, I said, I want this young man to get to live the way I got to live, which means he got a chance to fulfill the dream of being an NFL player for a long time, not only make great money, but to win, not just to play. We want to win because then one can never take that.
Right. And, the one thing we do have in common is that we both have Super Bowls. We both played with great quarterbacks, and a lot of things that you say about John Elway, a lot of those things really stick with me because Peyton was the same way.
Yep.
I mean, I was nervous. The 2 years I played with him, I was nervous every single day, but it was exciting nervous.
You don't want to let him down.
Yeah, at all.
You don't want to let him down.
And it comes because he was a great leader. And if he was just like a leader that just came in there and just walked right by me and didn't treat me well, then I don't know how I would have felt about that. But he treated me like a person. He made me feel a part of the team on the first day, and that's what great leaders do. So, while we're talking about that, what do you think about The Last Dance? Like, what do you think about Michael Jordan and things like that? Did you ever get a chance to see Mike play?
Yeah, I got a chance to see him play. One thing, just to talk about Peyton. Let me tell you how great of a not just as a football player, but as a man, Peyton was.
Yeah.
When I retired, I got a postcard in the mail. It had PM on it, on the thing. It didn't have a name. It just had PM and an address. And I opened it. And first thing I'm thinking is, okay, what chick did I know from back in the day that sent me a card? Right? Because I used to date this girl back in the day, and this was PM.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there like, do I really want to open this thing? You know what I'm saying? Peyton sent me a card congratulating me on my career. That's the type of dude he was.
Yeah.
So for him to have the success he had on and off the field, the stuff he's doing, it's just amazing. You watch The Last Dance now, and one thing I love about it, and you wish everybody's locker room could have got filmed like that. When you guys won Super Bowl 50,
yes.
If somebody could have documented the whole thing, it would literally be like that, but on a whole nother level. If they could have documented it was 3 years, not the 2 years we won the Super Bowl, but the year we lost in the AFC. We was the best team in the league and lost in the wild card, in the divisional round to a startup team, to Jacksonville. If they could have filmed those 3 years, it would have been similar to this, but with a different twist, of course. But to watch that and see even the backdoor stuff that's going on with the organization, the ownership, the general managers, the pettiness back and forth, the fights between players. See, we had all that.
Yeah. See,
people don't know that. You don't even like the dude that you lined up to on Sunday.
Right.
But you love him on Sunday.
Right.
Now, come Monday morning, I still don't like him.
Right.
But to get this work done, we got to get this work done. And that's the part about it, man. It's about sports. You bring up people from all walks of life, the pain, the pleasure, the good, the bad, the ugly. different races, creeds, colors, all that. Bring together. Say, in order for us to win, we got to work together, and everybody got to buy in. And that's the thing I love about sports, and to watch that from behind the scenes with them, plus the storyline that they captured.
Yeah,
it was magical.
It's super incredible to see, and like you said, like in sports, especially a team sport like football, you have to be on the same page on Sundays, and there might be rifts. People be going out on Fridays or different things, this and that, but on Sunday we come together and it looks like a well-oiled machine. But for the Last Dance documentary, I think that's why people are loving it so much, because it's the behind-the-scenes footage.
Yeah.
We know Mike was
a
cold
game,
basketball.
so
Yeah.
we saw the game.
Yeah.
But I didn't see in the locker room, I didn't see, his mentality when his pops died.
Yeah.
The fact that he came out with his shorts on backwards. I never caught that till yesterday.
Yeah.
When I saw it on Sunday. I never knew that. That this guy mentally, probably one of the most superior players on the court, he still got these flaws mentally. And we get judged for our flaws more than we do for the greatness and all the work we put in on the field and on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even, watching B.J. Armstrong playing for the Hornets and then talking trash to Mike, and then Mike just the next day. So anybody can talk trash while they're winning. But what about when you're down or when it's 0-0? And just the way he was sitting in that locker playing with that bat, you knew he was about to kill it the next day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible to see.
Yeah, that's the stuff about sports and all of us get wired a different way. I always carried my lack with me on the field. I always carried the fact that growing up on welfare and food stamps and, getting the lights cut out, having to do homework by candlelight. You got to open up the stove to get some heat because my mom ain't got no money. My mom ain't got no car. See, everything was on my mom. Everything. To me. She don't deserve this. So what am I going to do about it? I can sit around and cry about it, or I can go put in this work. So you couldn't shake me. I didn't give a damn what was going on. That work was going to get done. That's why I didn't miss no days. You didn't have to give me no incentive in my contract to come to work. There's a lot of guys had hundreds of thousands of dollars in their contract if they did 80% of the workouts in the off season. I said, why the hell y'all won't give me that? They said, because we know you're going to come. I said, you damn right. And you're going to pay for it too.
Yeah, they did.
So I did well, starting from nothing. I was making $3,300 a week and turning it into something bigger than that but it didn't change me. The mentality, the work, none of that changed me at all. But I had that from birth because when you start with nothing, man, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out, and Michael Jordan, that's what he started with nothing too.
Right.
But you know what he did? He figured it out. He realized he was getting beat up. He had to go hit the gym. Like the next day.
Yeah.
You just lost. Hey, man, when we get back together? Tomorrow. That is like, most people probably miss that part. Mm-hmm. You can't knock a guy for that. I remember I used to do that. After the season was over, I would take 2 weeks off. And my ass was back working out until they opened the facility back up. And then I would go over to the facility. But I found somewhere to do something. Because I loved what I saw. I see right there in this room right now, you got a thing over there that says vision. And all I kept picturing was what it would be like if I did it right.
Yeah.
If I put in this work today. Because most people want to work today and get paid today. That's not how life works. You get paid later if you're still working. Right. See, everything, and I wrote this in my book because I love the fact that I'm getting a copy of your book. We've been talking about it. And I put that in my book, and I tell my kids this all the time. And anybody that will listen, I said, listen, you get paid for every amount of energy you put out if you're still working when it's time for the payday. So you put in the energy today, put the work in today, and then your ass quit, well, you don't deserve to get paid. But if you're still working on that thing, you put that energy in a while back, the universe is guaranteed to pay you for that. And I got paid for all that stuff I was doing when I was hungry, when I was on the practice squad, and all that stuff. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to go through that thing that I went through. And I tell people all the time, I said, getting to the top is easy. Well, it's easy for you to say. And I said, no, dude, it's hard staying at the bottom because it's crowded. Right. It's crowded as hell at the bottom. You got more excuses down here. You got enough excuses that you can stay right there real easy, real comfortable. I said, dude, get to the top, because as you start to climb, those who don't want to help you go there or don't want to go with you, they're going to easily fall off. And it's lonely.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lonely nights, tough nights. You know what I'm saying? I done had them in the middle of the night crying to myself because I ain't had nobody to talk to. But then I would woke up and I would see what I wanted, and I had to go back and put that work in.
So how did you go about, setting up your vision? Because what I hear out of what you're saying right now is that you had that purpose and that why. So how did you, because I have this course that I'm setting up, which is the GPS method, which is goal setting plus perseverance equals success. How did you go about setting your goals, not only as a receiver, but then as an entrepreneur in business?
You know what, man? The one thing I love about business is it's identical to sports. Because here's the thing. There's a starting point. And everybody starts really with nothing. Everybody does. Right? And so you start there, and then you do, the first thing is, what do you see before you start building anything? And I teach people, because I do the same thing, man. I do the personal development, coaching, stuff like that. I love what you're doing with the GPS method. And so many people going to get blessed by it, because it's something about athletes, especially when you play at the highest level on the planet in your particular sport or even in business, that there's a mentality that more people need that they don't have access to. So that's why that they need the GPS method, or they need my method, or they need somebody's method, right, just to have a reference point of how to go from this area where you feel stuck. And because, of course, going to the Broncos, I went to a small school. I didn't get to go to big Michigan State. Y'all playing in front of 100,000. It wasn't even 100,000 people in the two cities I lived in. And y'all was playing in front of that every Saturday. You see what I'm saying? Right. Where I grew up and the place I went to college, you put both cities together, it wasn't 100,000 people there. Right? But so I always wanted that feel. But the thing was, I got to start where I start. And I can't be mad at where I start. That's the first thing. In business, you can't be upset that so-and-so's winning. You know what you do? Go ask them how. Right. What did you do? But you know today, this generation today, they're so bad, they're afraid to ask questions. They're afraid to actually get advice. They think, well, I got to go start. I got to be the next Google. No, you don't. You can be the next you, and you can win. If you're basing it off money, that's a one whole other area. That's a whole nother conversation. But I just got to get better than where I am right now. Let me just get to where the ends can kind of see each other. They ain't gonna meet yet. Can they just kind of see each other? Right? When you grow up with nothing and you waiting on the check every month and you eating good for 5, 6, 8 days, and then the rest of the time it's tough. You know what I'm saying? When you have that mentality, see, everything else is gravy to me. It don't matter what you try to take from me. I already know what it's like to be on this side. I want to know what it's like to be on the other side. And so for me, I just always had that mentality, and I said, you know what? What am I going to do right now? Yeah, the vision is great. But what can I do today to go one step closer to that thing that I want? I studied, and this is one thing that helped me when I was coming off the practice squad. I had played the first year, so I'm going into my second year. I don't have a contract. You know how that is. Right. When you don't have a contract, you feel like it's terrifying to not know where the next dollar gonna come. I just want to be on the roster. At least I'm in the thought process. Right. And I was up one night watching a lot of infomercials. And Tony Robbins came on with this thing, this personal power course came on. I immediately bought it. I bought that personal power course. And I literally studied it from front to back. I still got the book to this day. Make a long story short, I started writing down the goals. I started writing down, remember, goals are what you write down that you don't have. Right. Do you know I got everything I wrote down? 100%. Or the stuff I didn't get, I didn't want it anymore by the time I had the money or whatever I wanted. And then once I realized, I looked back at what I wrote down, and I was pissed. I said, fool, you should have wrote down more. But I didn't have that belief in myself. Right. So that's the first thing in doing anything sports-wise or business-wise or relationships. You got to have a belief in you that you can actually accomplish the thing that you see that other people don't see. Because you ain't going to have everybody in your corner rooting for you. You ain't going to have everybody encouraging you because they don't see what you see. Right. And some people who you really believe in ain't going to believe in you. Well, why would you go for that? That's hard. No, it's hard for you. Right. It's going to be hard for me too. But I'm built different than you. I can withstand a little bit more heat than you, or a lot more heat than you. I'm already on the bottom. What the hell? I ain't got nowhere else to go.
But
It's the only place I can go.
right.
And so that's just, you know, you don't have any kids.
No.
One of the hardest things I've ever done is be a parent. To give them that mentality. See, my kids don't grow up with lack.
Right.
But I need that to be in them, though. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it's hard when you got 11,000 square foot house instead of 1,100.
Right.
Your bedroom is 1,100, right?
Right.
It's different. And so, but I see it in my son, and my daughter's starting to figure it out. My other son is starting to figure it out. Well, this is how, it's not about what dad has, it's how he got it. Well, what he got, how he got it, you got it in you. But see, you don't have the same conditions. And see, what you got to learn, this is a trick. And Mr. Bugs, great friend of mine, business owner, worked with him for several years now, like 11 years now. He said this to me a long time ago, and I always remember. He said, successful people create the conditions in their mind in order for them to succeed. So for me, I would put myself back in the hood. That's why I would wear number 9. I would put myself back in college when I was hungry as hell.
Yeah.
You know, I'm eating, but in my mind, I ain't eating. In my mind, I got to prove to these boys today, like literally, dude, I would go to the game, and I had these crazy ways of fooling myself to get in the state. Anthony Robbins called it state. Tony Robbins, he said, you got to put yourself in state, right? So I'm driving to the game, my mom in the car, you know, I got Ice Cube blasting. Death Certificate, Ice Cube's first album was blasting in the car, and my mom was like, this is the ugliest music ever. I said, Mom, I gotta get these boys to work today. I said, boys, and I'm cussing, I'm everything, and she's just looking at me like, this dude has lost his damn mind. I said, but, they gonna get it today. And she's like, who the hell is this? This is not my son. But I had to do that because I remember her being hungry.
Right.
And if I'm gonna feed you, I said, remember, that house you live in, somebody got to pay for that. Them boys going to pay for that today. And she would look at me like something's wrong with me. But every week, that's what I did. I would pump Ice Cube or something in my head. Because remember, when that came out, that's when I was in college.
Okay.
And I was hungry. And I kept having these dreams and these visions. And no one saw them but me. And so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, find a way. Definitely find a way. That's an incredible story. Just the fact that you sitting up late at night and Tony Robbins, and I listen to some of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and some of these guys, and now that I go through, I always pick a course to go through every summer just to help me understand my mind. And for me back at Michigan State, it was me going through a tough time with a drop pass, and like it being, I felt like I let the team down. We could have won the game or had more momentum, where I was just like going through, struggling with anxiety or like the mindset, like, man, can I really do this? And then I had this book given to me, and I read this book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Like, look, not everything is going to be perfect, but you're not going to give up.
Yeah.
You're not going to give up. And that's kind of the way I attack life. And, starting my own business now is one of the reasons why I wanted to be an entrepreneur and start my own book or write my own book is because you gave me your book a couple years ago, and then I saw that your face was on the cover. And then Kobe Bryant was an idol of mine, the late, great Kobe Bryant. And that's the reason why I put my face on the cover of my book. Yep. And it's a business card. Like, we talked about this before we actually came on here. The fact that I can go into a business now or shake anybody's hand. And you said that you're an entrepreneur first.
Absolutely.
Being in the NFL. So, touch a little bit on that about, life after football, especially with, I think, some athletes struggle with life after football and what they really want to do.
93%.
Yeah.
93%. Remember, I was the union rep for our team for the last 7 and 8 years of my career. Out of the 14 years I played, I was the union rep for 8 years. So I saw the back end of the disability and all that stuff, and guys leaving the league and hurt, and the concussion lawsuit, the medical assistant stuff. Was a part of putting that stuff in place. Because I knew one day all of us was going to have on those wingtips, or we was going to have on the sneakers. So we wanted to protect guys from that. And the one thing I love about the fact that you wrote a book, and I buy pretty much most athletes' books, like especially guys I know, and I read them. Ryan Harris,
yeah,
but because if you notice, all of us had the same thing, mindset. And the reason why this is so important for you in the future is because, for one, it documents it forever. It documents that mindset forever. Some kid who don't know Benny Fowler gonna mess around and somebody gonna give him this book and he gonna read it and it's gonna change his life. The monk who sold a Ferrari changed your life. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, changed my life. Matter of fact, and this ain't even been announced to anybody, I just got confirmation yet today. Matter of fact, I'm interviewing him on Tuesday.
Okay.
Next Tuesday. This is my mentor. 18 years, bro. I got my financial statement that I wrote using one of his courses. 2002, February 12th, 2002, I was making $253,000 a month at the time. $250,000 a month. And I knew, watch this, I knew when I was going to go broke. Unless I changed something. And I had to change it. And I did. And things are great because of that change and that shift in mentality. Because most guys leave this game with a lot of money and that old mentality trying to go into a new world. They're trying to shift from the game of football to the game of business. And it's not a good translation. It don't transfer over real easy. Because people look at you, oh, well, you got millions. Everybody who played ball, they think you got millions of dollars. Yeah. Everybody make millions of dollars. But even if they did, it's still about, this person, what can they bring to the table? What values can they bring to the table? And so that's one of the things the statistics are 93% of the guys within 5 years are broke or needing assistance after they get out of the league. 5 years. In the NBA, it's a little bit longer. They got guaranteed contracts. We don't have guaranteed contracts. But the NFL, it was like less than 5 years, 93% of the guys were broke or needing assistance of some kind. And I saw that and I was like, there's no way in the hell I'm going to let that be me. And so I started doing things while I was playing to put myself in position. Like what you're doing now. You're still actively pursuing the NFL constantly. And I'll tell you what Kubiak told me. Rod, don't ever quit. Make him run you out. Yeah. Kub told me that. He said, Rod, he was in the game at this time, 30-something years between player and coaching. He said, Rod, there's only a handful of guys doing good financially. This is what Kub told me while I was playing. Yeah. So I took that and I'm like, okay, what I wanted to do, and I'll tell you why I do some of the stuff I do, I want to be an example for the guys who are playing today, the guys who playing during your era right now, that, we should leave the game in better shape financially. Yeah. And we got to do this while we're playing, while we're actively making money. You got to get these principles in place and understand to say no. You can't say yes to everything. And we had this saying when I grew up in the hood, all money ain't good money. See that $10,000? All money ain't good money. That's why I didn't take it. Right. Give me this 100. This 100 gonna make me way more money. But most people won't see that. And so when you shifting from sports to business, do it while you're in sports. Do it now. Collect. I say this all the time. Collect good people. Keep all the good people you can around you. Not people who are just there because you're Benny Fowler, the Super Bowl champion. No, these are people who are with Benny Fowler, the man, who gonna help guide you. They'll check you if need be. They'll protect you from you, because they know what you said you wanted, and they see you going off track. They'll get in your face if they have to. Yeah. And I told my son this a long time ago. I said, your best friends is the one that'll fight you over you doing something dumb. I said, you got to have.
Speaking of my boys right there.
Yeah, damn right.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying it. Yeah. Because I want them to hear it. Mm-hmm. You got to have people. I got dudes in my corner, man, 49 years. This is the dude that was throwing my boy Mondo. He was the one throwing me the football when I go home for the summer. He ain't a quarterback, but he threw a hell of a ball. You know what I'm saying? Because his boy needed that work. Yeah. If I'm going to make it, I need this work. The ones who helped me get summer jobs so I can stay my butt off the street so I don't go to try to sell dope or nothing like that to get some piece of money in my pocket to put food on the table. So these dudes, these the cats that's still in my life to this day. You got to keep them with you. You know what? And here's the thing. You reward them. Yeah. You reward them for their loyalty. You teach them stuff. See, if anything, this course that you create is for them. Yeah. See, I don't want nobody working for me. I want you working with me. I want you to be able to finish my sentences when it comes to my business. Dude, this ain't what you said you wanted. And here's the reasons why. See, that's when his team. Look at LeBron.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go back and forth with the argument over who's the best basketball player between LeBron and Jordan. That's two different eras. Mm-hmm. I had somebody do that with me. Y'all's team versus our team the other day.
We win.
We'd kick your hell out, y'all, dude.
We win.
And you know what I told them? If anybody on that team say we was better, they stupid. They should never say that. And this kid said something dumb. I just deleted him. I said, dude, I'm not gonna slaughter you. You're 19 years old. You weren't even born when we was balling, right? So you're gonna be biased toward Team B. Right? That's what they call you. Right. We was A and y'all was B. Right. And it was fair that y'all was B. Right? So but the thing is you wanna be able to create that thing that they're benefiting from the knowledge that you're learning, because you're gonna get access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to. But because you became who you became, you got to open some doors that normally wouldn't got open for us. Right. And we got to make sure we keep them open. But see, when I open the door, I'm holding the thing open for a bunch of folks that's doing right. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? LeBron, to me, Jordan transcended basketball, the shoe game. If it wasn't for Jordan, all that stuff that they're doing right now, it wouldn't even be possible. But LeBron took his buddies and turned them into businessmen. That has never been done in sports. That they are the tops of their area in business. And for him to be able to do that, to me, is the best thing ever. If I envy anything of any person, is that. I wish that I had my boys that I grew up with. The top agent in sports is the guy from Clutch Sports, which is LeBron's boy. The one that's in marketing, the one that's in logistics, the one that to me is the most brilliant, because your boys are feeding themselves. Yeah. They're taking the brand and they're making the brand global. They're making the brand better. And that's what you want.
And it still feels like, that they're kind of in high school, because they're all still around each other. They were all before the pandemic and everything like that. I was in LA for Draymond's surprise birthday party, and LeBron and all those guys were there. So they still hang out the same way, which is super cool. But the fact that they can do that is because they are feeding themselves. They all got houses in Beverly Hills, and LeBron didn't pay for one but his. Exactly. Which is cool. So.
No, and that's why I said when I walked in, what's your name, man? I don't even know.
Lamar.
And I saw Lamar, he got this whole setup. Got the whole thing laid out. He got 3 cameras, we got lights, we got switchboards, we got all this stuff. Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Oh, this dude for real. Remember, that's the first thing I said to you. I said, oh, he's for real. I see when you're working out, I see him over there. I don't know who the hell throwing the ball, but somebody throwing it.
Who he throwing the ball?
But that's what you got to have.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It's some gravity out there. That's all I need. I don't need no damn gym. I don't need no lines. You know what? I saw you working out on the curb.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, that's what I'm talking about. Get it. Hey, you know what? It's beat the sweat can come from anywhere. Yeah. Right? we can beat the sweat from anywhere. Go get it. But that's the part people don't see unless you post it.
Right.
They don't understand that uncertainty of your future when you're dealing with sports. Sports is so uncertain. That's why anybody get paid anything in sports, I root for him.
Yeah. Oh,
he's not worth that. Yes, he is. You don't know what he went through. You don't know what he's going through right now. You don't know what he's about to go through.
Right.
Give him whatever he get, he earned it. I don't care what it is. Give it to him, right? And hopefully he can grow it. That's just my thing, man. I've never been jealous of anybody. I've been envious of people. I've been inspired by people. I'm not motivated, but I'm motivated internally. Motivation is internal. Inspiration is external. Inspiration, when I see somebody doing some stuff and I like it, I'm going to go, I learn. I got out of my ghetto mentality. Well, let me hate on them, because that's the ghetto mentality, is to hate and try to one-up them or put them down, instead of saying, hey, man, let me ask you something, man. How did you know the crazy part is they'll tell you.
Yeah. The most successful people that I've ever been around, yourself, my dad in the corporate world, other coaches that I've taught you, they ask other people. Kobe Bryant is the perfect example of that.
They talked about it.
Hey, Mike, how did you do this? Then Kobe goes and perfects the fadeaway, a part of his game. But, he said, Kobe said it. I can't do none of this without Mike. I would have never been what I am without Mike. And I can say that about my relationship with you. I don't know where I would be. I know I would have had the work ethic, but you telling me that, I just remember the first tip you ever gave me. Hey, when you break it left, look right. It'll keep you balanced.
Yep.
Bam. All my routes, crisp, in and out the breaks. That's just a little tip, but who, if I never had asked, I would have never got it.
Yeah,
So,
no, but you know what, dude? That's the thing about asking, because we saw the difference. Most of you guys don't know this. He would send me the one-on-one tapes from practice.
yeah.
Here's me versus Chris Harris. Here's me versus Keith Lee. Here's me versus Roper. Here's me. These are Pro Bowl, the top guys in the league. Hey, look at this. What about this one? I said, ain't nothing he can do. I said, look how square you are at the top. He waiting on you to come back outside. You already gone. And then I watch you do it in the games. I watch you do it with the Giants. I watch you do it with Chicago. You know, and I'm sitting there like, I should sell this. I'm an entrepreneur. But you know what? Here's the thing. But I brag on you. You know, you, Super Bowl 50, DT, show DT some of that stuff. Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall, one of my guys, Brandon got, I just saw this the other day. I didn't even know it. Brandon got 900 some damn catches.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall caught 100 passes for 4 different teams. Dude, he's the first person in NFL history to ever do that. But here's a guy that was considered a problem when he was here in Denver. But you know what it was? He didn't have somebody in his ear who's going to be truthful with him. He had a bunch of followers. He didn't have somebody who was going to stand up to him because I didn't need nothing from him. I wanted something for him, not something from him.
No.
And so that's why I admire what you're doing. You're trying to give back in your way. It starts with this book. This is just a business card. That's all this is.
Yeah.
My book, when I finally took me a while to do it because I was really scared to dig up some of the stuff you had to dig up. But I said, when I finally got it out, you know, see, I got 4 grandsons, man. I got 4 grandsons. And I said, what if I died before this book was finished? They get to hear my story through somebody else. I need them to hear it from me. I literally, after that, because the mindset was, it scared me, the fact of them hearing about me from somebody else. And I said, this is the blueprint. It's not about what we got. This is how we got it.
Yeah.
This is what my granddad was going through when he had tore up his ACL and he had surgery on his hip and all these concussions, and how did he overcome all that stuff? Well, it's in the book. And I tell people all the time, you really want to know a little bit more about me? Go read my book. It ain't for you to read my book. The book is free. You can go get it downloaded for free. It's not about the book. But if you want to understand why I tick the way I tick and why I root for people the way I root for people, this is why. Because when you grow up a young black man in Arkansas with the racism and all the shit that I dealt with, cops pulling guns on me and all that, I had that. See, that's why some people, you don't know that. So you see the Super Bowl touchdowns and catches, and that's what you think that's not who the hell I am. That's what I did.
Right.
Who I am come from the bricks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm respectful. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It makes me appreciate what I got now. It makes me appreciate life. Some of the kids, they don't even appreciate life.
Yeah.
They so careless with their life. And I don't understand where that mentality comes from.
Yeah, I totally agree. And with you saying that about the kids today, let's just finish up with a leadership piece. You know, I want to know to you, what are the key traits of a leader?
The definition of the word leader is lead. It means go first. Who's going to go first? Most people don't want to go first. Most people today are followers. You know what they do? They see somebody else doing something, and they go copy what somebody else did because they know it works. Because the other person who went first. I study a lot of online stuff, a lot of business stuff, and said you can always tell the leader because they're the ones with the arrows in their back. See, when you go first, you the one to take all the shots. And so for anybody, like for me, dude, and then I say this to everybody I coach. I said, I don't know. There's certain sides of you you're not going to tell me. And I don't need to know them. This is what you need to know. What is that one thing that's in you that make you get up and move regardless? It could be your kids. It could be your parents. It could be whatever. But there's always one thing that'll move you beyond anything. I said, you need to learn how to tap into that when you need it. And see, for me, it started with my mom. To watch my mom live the way she lived and my sisters and my brother to live the way we live. And I always looked at it as less than. Always kind of, you know, I wanted our name to mean something. I really did. That was my whole goal. And so I went on that quest, but somebody got to go first. See, when you grow up in the project, you grow up in the hood, if you go to jail, that's expected. If you drop out of school, that's expected. If you just become kind of a deadbeat, it's okay, because this is what most people in your area, that's what they're like. So it's okay. But what if you go and say, I'm going to do stuff different? I had this, speaking of that leadership principle, I had this conversation with my nephew. He was real young then. And honestly, he lived, my sister's boy, he still was in that neighborhood. And I heard him one day. I was at home visiting for something, and I heard him talking about, he was going to be a drug dealer because they got a lot of money. And that was his mentality. I didn't rip him, nothing like that. He was probably about 9, 10 years old. And I said, man, come here, man. Let me tell you something. I said, why did you say that? Well, they got a lot of money. I said, I got a lot of money. I said, matter of fact, I got a shitload of money. I got more money than you know what to do with. Is this not true? I had to have a real dialogue with my little nephew. And he said, yeah, uncle, you got a lot of money. I said, why you can't be like me? Why you got to be like that guy? Why you can't be like me? What's so hard about what I did? And you know me, I grew up right next to your mom, my sister. And see, that was my thing. I wanted to be the role model. Some people say, well, I'm not a role model. I wanted to be the role model. I want to show you that you can go from here and have less than, and you can go over here and go hang out with people who worth $1 billion. I ain't worth $1 billion. I want to one day. I'm working on it, right? But if I ain't working on it, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
But to me, everybody has a thing in them that'll make them move. And my thing was my family. It's still to this day. I wrote the book for my mom. Next thing you know, my daughter's pregnant. Next thing you know, it became my grandson. Now, and I'll tell you this before we wrap up, is, Mr. Kiyosaki, I mentioned earlier that Mr. Kiyosaki, he's going to me, it's a special moment for me to get to interview him on Zoom. And I'm going to put it out there for everybody to jump on. Hopefully max the line out. Yeah. But because he gave me a different vision of who I could become as a man. Already having money was one thing, but I also knew most people who start with money don't end up with money. And so we were sitting there, I was having a conversation with him, one time, and I wanted to be a role model for athletes, that we don't have to be all high and mighty while the game is going on. When the game over, you see them end up broke. I play with a lot of guys that end up that way. And I said, maybe I could be the role model for athletes, that they can come and do this thing right. And of course, I get to witness LeBron James doing what he's doing. He'll probably be one of the first. Well, Jordan's worth $1 billion now, but LeBron will amass way more than $1 billion.
Yeah.
But if you look at collectively the impact he's having around sports and how he's moving his brand around, it's a great thing for all of us to be able to model as athletes.
Yeah.
And I think once you model it as an athlete, you can take it into your house, because that's what I want. So you got to get, when you have kids one day, that they'll get to pick up the book, but they live with you, so they get to live it, but they get to pick up the book and see the mentality when things work the way they are right now, And so for me, man, I root for people. I've learned that whatever energy you put out comes back. So there's no time for hating. There's no time for negativity. That don't mean negative things don't come up, but you got to immediately get back to the positive. You got to immediately put out that, because remember, what you say, you hear. When you talk about other people, you hear first. And I always believe the words that come out your mouth are instructions for the soul. And so I just watch, learn, listen, humble myself to being around great people and learn and being a student, constantly be a student. I know what I know, but I also know there's a lot I don't know. Yeah. And I'm humble enough to admit that and be willing to keep going into the lab and keep going to class. Literally, I buy like programs like you, like, dude, I just bought one the other day for $2,000. And you know what I do at late at night when everybody sleep? My ass is sitting there, and my daughter be looking at me like, and my son, they be looking at me like, Dad, you work more now that you retired than you did when you was playing. I said, yeah, because my calling is bigger. And here's what it called. I'll end with this. Mr. Kiyosaki told me this. He said, you got to build what you build for 4 generations. It's got to last 4 generations. And I said, what do you mean? He said, see, the first generation makes the money. The second generation enjoys the money. the third generation blows the money. And if you build it 4 generations, that it'll be enough money for them to start it over. And you look at the Walton family, they built 5 generations. They got like 500 years of wealth. They never worked another day in their life. They got like 500 years of wealth amongst that one family because of that principle. And so when he taught me that, I said, now I don't work for my grandsons. I work for my grandsons' grandsons. See, what I'm building now got to go. It got to be enough money left over for them. Yeah. And so that's why I do what I do.
My dog, The Rod Effect, man, appreciate you for being on the Quiet Time podcast and my YouTube channel, man. Much love, Broncos legend, entrepreneur legend, and a mentor to me. I appreciate you.
I can't wait to get into this book, man. I appreciate you letting me, I kind of unloaded a little bit.
But, we needed that.
But no, man, like I say, I saw what you was doing. And I said, I'm going to get you on mine.
Yeah.
For some reason, I haven't started mine. I need to get him.
Hey, we got I'll shoot you his contact information. The best camera dude in Denver. Shout out to Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar hooked it up.
Yeah.
But no, it's good stuff. I just know you're gonna go far because of the reason behind why you're doing it. You know, that's always the thing. Having good energy and good spirit behind it, bro. That's the key. It's you know, we get looked at and labeled as athletes, but that's not who we are. You know what I'm saying? We're men who want the best for not only ours, but for those who anywhere remotely close to us. Any way, shape, or form, we want the best for them too.
Much love. Much love.
Appreciate it.